Hello, welcome back to Subbuteo Tabletop Football. Let me just walk around there so you can see me. Oh, just having a break because as you can see, something very different is going on. Now, what are we doing? This is the table that I have Subbuteo Stadium on. There is the base of Subbuteo Stadium there. And I've talked about how there's going to be some changes in here a bit. One of the changes, you will see the back wall behind it used to be like a garage door to this unit. That is no longer there, so I'm sealed in forever. No, I'm not sealed in forever. There is another door behind you, but it's now one entrance in. It's nice and secure, and hopefully it will reduce some of the damp problems they had in winter, because it was just sort of barn doors on there before, and they were all sorts of weather was blowing through. When I blocked that up, I decided I could move things around in here, especially the table, so that it's more central really, so there's more room around the outside for wandering around, and that's what I've been doing today. Part of the move, I wanted to brace this table. So this is a bit like woodwork today rather than Subbuteo, but this is something that doesn't really get talked about a lot on the groups, is what you put your Subbuteo base on, your Subbuteo table on. I got this free. I just went on free to collector. Actually, my missus went on there. She saw some chairs, dining room chairs she wanted. Came with this table. Ping. I had an idea. So I got a fairly sturdy table for free, which I've had the base and the ground on since I started building it really. The reason I'd done the bracing on it is because the legs were starting to get a bit wobbly, so as I was trying to jiggle it around with all that weight on, things were just becoming a bit loose, so I tightened them up and braced them up. I just used a bit of like 1/2 inch by 3 inch timber with some meaty wood screws. And hopefully that should keep it a bit sturdy. But now I'm going to put the top back on because I've centralised it in this room now. So I thought we'd do that while you're here with me. Now I'm just going to move a few bits and pieces around. It is very warm in here today. Certainly sorted out the cold air problem. Let's move that out of the way. The old England Budweiser drink there. Not advertising it, they're not sponsoring this channel, unfortunately. So let's get rid of these drill bits. I've got another piece of this to go on the other side as well, but obviously I can't do it with the baseboard there. So let's just move things around. So what I should be able to do once we've got this now in a more central position is really have some better angles on games and whatnot, which hopefully will benefit you, the viewer. Right, it could all go horribly wrong here, but bear with me. Let's move this chair somewhere. Right, so in theory, what I should be able to do, oh god, that is heavy. Woo! Right, so we slide that back into position. Now I want to make sure it's reasonably centered. I don't screw this down at all. It's just resting on top. Right, there we go. So, I can wander around now. I'm going to tidy out some of these things so we've got a bit more space. Problem we had before was down this side, it was a bit of a squeeze to get down there. Right, so I'll jiggle around with that. Right, now, so this, I'm going to move you now. Let's see what you can see. I know you can see most of it from there. Shall we move you a bit closer? No, you'll be all right there. So, no, I will move you actually. Excuse the movement of the camera. Let's see if I can put you up here. In fact, over here, that'd be better. Right, as you can see there, that's a fairly bare Subbuteo Stadium. There is nothing there. And what we're going to do is put our terraces back. Let's start with this one. It's like walking the wrong way around, right? Got to turn around now. Now with this one, I think I did mention before, I need a bit more space on this side, so what I'm going to do is screw in an extra piece of wood there. I've seen this done before on plenty of people's grounds, so I've got a bit more space to pull it back like that. Because it's overhanging by about an inch at the minute. And then we got, of course, the behind the goal blue and white terrace, which does have a name, but I haven't made the sign for it yet, so we'll keep that for a surprise. Now that one can come back a little bit, centimetre back. I've actually knocked off, you always get a few casualties, I don't know if you can see it there, but I actually knocked a bit of the back fencing off. So that's that. And of course what we want is the old muddy pitch. I know there's been a few people buying these muddy pitches recently because Keith Littler said he had some spares, and so there's very recently been a rush of purchases of them. If you have bought one of these and want to know what it's like before it arrives, then I did do a review of when I first bought it, and also a review after 4 months of owning it. And you can see on here, I'm going to shake it off actually because it's got some bits on there, how easy it lays on the pitch. So I've had this folded up over there for about, I don't know, the last couple of hours. You put it down and it just, you know, it's just, there's no creases in it at all. It's amazing. Should make shirts out of this material. So look at that, that's taking me seconds to put that down. And it is a playable surface. Now if you are buying one of these pitches, I think I mentioned before, it does come with a white trim around the edge. I opted to cut that off. It was a bit nerve-wracking doing it, but I managed to get it sorted. There it is. Of course you don't have to if you don't want to. Oh, I think I just broke a copper's legs. Unlucky. Right. So that is in place there. So we're sort of back on a much sturdier table. There is one other thing I actually need to change. So I'm going to move the camera again. There you go. Now, when we had a few damp problems in here, this poor little flag got all sorts of mould marks in it. So I'm going to put a new one up. I'm going to have to rivet in the holes though before I do it, so I can't put it up on camera, but that's going to be nice and fresh as well. This feels like it's not straight. I'm going to have to get the tape measure out and make sure it's nice and straight. Right, what should we put back? I've got a pile of bits and pieces here, some of which I'm going to talk about in the next video because I'm going to do a bit of an experiment on eBay. So stay tuned if you want to see how that goes. Got everything that's Mind Your Rovers here, including this little. This is where the Subbuteo Stadium Community Trust people work. So, Adam Tutton, if you ever watch this video, that's your office. Put that down there. And there we go, that'll do for now. So, how are we getting on? 10-minute video. I think you've probably had enough of me whittering on there. So yeah, we've got that back on a sturdier base now. I have got one rung to do over the other side, which I'll get on with in a minute. And yeah, stay tuned for the next things we're doing. I'm going to carry on with the solo play series because I've got a couple of bits and pieces I want to chat about on that. So hopefully I'll see you then. But until next time, up the gas.